You wake up and reach for your phone, again, without thinking. The cool light spills over your face in the dark, familiar and heavy. Hours ago, you closed your books, but your mind is still tangled in deadlines and grades. The late-night scroll pulls you in, a quiet way to fill the space where rest should be. You tell yourself it's just a break, but the knot in your chest tightens. How do you truly let go of school stress and find rest beyond scrolling? You lie there, phone forgotten for a moment, wondering if there's a different kind of pause waiting for you somewhere else. The illusion of rest in endless scrolling. Imagine, you lie back on your bed after a day that feels too long, phone in hand. The room is dark, except for the soft blue glow lighting your face. Your thumb scrolls through a feed that never ends, a stream of faces, headlines, memes. You're looking for a break, some relief. But there's something else too. Your chest feels tight, almost like a knot that won't loosen. Even as your body sinks into the mattress, your mind is buzzing, racing through deadlines, exams, what you forgot to do today. The stress doesn't go away. It just hums louder beneath the surface. You tell yourself you're resting. But is it rest? Or just a quiet trap? Because what looks like a break, this endless scrolling, keeps your stress alive. It's like a fire you think you're watching from afar, but the smoke is still in your lungs. Your brain is still running, still alert. The stories, the updates, the noise, they feed a part of you that can't switch off. Picture this. Your brain as a machine that needs to cool down. Doom scrolling is like keeping it running on a treadmill when it really should be still. The screen's light pulls you in, the flow of information holding your attention hostage while your stress ticks on in the background. So here's the question you don't want to skip. How do you truly let go of school stress and find rest beyond scrolling? What if real rest asks something different of your brain? Something quieter, slower, less busy. Because resting isn't just stopping. It's letting go. Not pressing pause, but powering down. And that's harder than it sounds. But it matters more than you think. What real rest asks of your brain. Suppose you lie down after a long day. Your eyes close, but your brain doesn't quiet. Instead, it replays deadlines, upcoming tests, scores you wish were higher. They don't knock. They settle in like unwanted guests. You try to shove them out, but they linger. Stubborn shadows in the corners of your mind. Rest doesn't mean shutting off. It means letting go. Letting those thoughts fade without force, without noise to cover them up. But here's the trick. Rest isn't a pause button. It's not about stopping everything for a moment and hoping the noise disappears on its own. It's a reset, something that needs space, quiet space, not more noise. That's why endless scrolling feels like rest, but never truly is. The phone screen lighting your face late at night isn't a break. It's a flickering invitation to keep thinking, keep reacting, keep spinning. The dopamine hits from notifications don't calm your brain. They stir it. So what does real rest ask of you? To let the quiet gather without filling it up again. To witness your thoughts without chasing them or hiding from them. To be still, not because you cut off activity, but because you create room for your mind to recover. It might mean sitting in silence, staring out a window, or just breathing in and out with nothing else demanding attention. This is where the story behind your grades and self-worth quietly begins to change. If your mind finds rest, it stops tying your value to scores and deadlines. You learn to see yourself outside the rush, outside the scroll. Because real rest isn't about doing less. It's about letting the part of you that feels overwhelmed find a moment to breathe. And in that breathing, something else starts to stir. The story behind your grades and self-worth. You sit still, the room dark except for the dull glow of your phone screen. The number appears again. That grade, flashing in your mind like a sentence handed down without appeal. You replay the moment you saw it. The way it sank in, how it clung to you. It feels like a verdict written in stone. But here's something to hold on to. That number isn't who you are. Not really. It's just part of a story you've been told. Over and over, like a script you never chose. Think about how this story took shape. From the first time someone praised a high score or frowned at a slip. How your worth got tied up with letters and points on a page. You started believing that if the grade dropped, so did you. But it's not a fact. It's a perspective shaped by the world you live in, by pressure, by expectations. Now, picture letting that story loosen its grip. Grades aren't your captors. They hold no true power unless you hand it over. You don't have to clutch that number like it's the last lifeline. It's a piece of paper, a flicker on a screen, not a measure of your value. But letting go feels tricky, because it's not just an idea to accept. It's a feeling to live through. So you come back to the screen's cold light late at night. The endless scroll, the noise filling up the quiet spaces. It's easy to lose yourself there, chasing distraction instead of rest. But what if rest was something different? Something active, something that asks your brain to step out of the story, to pause the scorekeeper inside, and just be. How do you truly let go of school stress and find rest beyond scrolling? That's the question waking you up while the world sleeps. Because real rest isn't just about shutting your eyes. It's about giving your mind a chance to heal, rewrite, breathe. And that's where you begin. Why your brain needs real breaks to heal. Your mind feels stuck, like a record, skipping on the same anxious loop. Maybe it's a phrase from a test question you can't answer, or a thought about what comes next. The next paper, the next deadline, the stress circuits inside your brain keep firing over and over. Noise, music, a TV show, even the chatter in your room doesn't drown them out. They just keep buzzing, like a fly that won't leave you alone. This is the brain on stress. It doesn't switch off like a light when you want it to. It needs real breaks. Not background noise, not the half attention you give while scrolling through your phone late at night. Those moments glance at you but don't let you go. The screen lights your face, but it's not rest. It's a trap that keeps the loop spinning. Without real breaks, stress piles up. Each exam, each paper, each grade feels heavier. What was once manageable turns into a mountain. You end up dreading the next thing because your brain hasn't had a chance to reset. You don't just feel tired, you feel stuck, overwhelmed, less capable. The weight presses on, making everything harder to face. Remember how your story about grades tangled up with your sense of worth? That thread still pulls tight. But the break your brain needs isn't about pushing through harder or distracting yourself with more noise. It's about slowing down, stepping away with purpose. Not scrolling until your thumbs ache, but stopping. Quiet, still, intentional. This is where active rest comes in. It's a choice. Not giving in to the urge to check another notification, but choosing something that lets your mind truly unwind. A walk without your phone, a moment staring out a window, or just breathing without thinking about what's next. How do you truly let go of school stress? How do you find rest beyond scrolling? It starts by giving your brain a chance to heal, with breaks that actually feel like breaks. That's when the circuits can reset, and you can be ready again. Choosing active rest as a deliberate act. Now, picture this. You're sitting at your desk, the glow of your phone screen still warm on your face. The clock's too late for anything urgent, but somehow you can't stop. One more scroll, one more distraction. But then, you catch yourself. You set the phone down, not out of boredom, but on purpose. You push back your chair and step outside. The air hits you, cooler than the stale room where you've been breathing stress all day. You close your eyes for a moment. The weight of your breath. It's slow. It's steady. You didn't realize how tight your chest had gotten until now. This isn't just doing nothing. It's an act, a line drawn, a small, quiet choice to give your mind some room. Space to untangle, to breathe. Active rest means setting boundaries with your mind and habits. It's not about crashing or zoning out. It's about telling yourself, and the pressure, no, not right now. You're turning off the noise. No more chasing the next task, the next notification, the next grade. There's this idea that rest is passive, that you either work or you do nothing. But rest is a kind of rebellion. Quiet, yes, but defiant. It pushes back against the constant demand to be on, to prove, to perform. It's you choosing to stop the cycle, even for a little while. How do you truly let go of school stress and find rest beyond scrolling? By noticing when the phone is just a loop, a distraction that keeps the tired mind busy but never healed. By stepping outside, by feeling your breath, by making rest a thing you do, not a place you drift into. This moment, this choice, it rewrites the script. It tells you that your worth isn't tied to grades. That you deserve breaks, not because you earn them, but because you're human. And that's the way toward rewriting your story beyond grades. Rewriting your story beyond grades. How do you stop tying who you are to a number that blinks on a screen? You're sitting there, phone in hand, the quiet glow softening your face. The grades pop up again. The letter, the percentage, the rank. And for a moment, you freeze. It's easy to slide into the trap. Defining yourself by each mark feels like it matters more than anything else. But then you catch yourself. You close the app. The screen goes dark, and something shifts. Instead of the score, you think about the small things. The time you helped a friend without expecting anything back. The late night you stayed up just to finish a problem set, even when you felt wiped out. The laugh you shared over a silly mistake. The moment you chose kindness over frustration. These aren't flashy or final. They don't boil down to a simple number. Slowly, your story stretches wider than any grade could hold. It's messy and real and unfolding. You're not a sum of test results. You're a story still being written, with chapters full of effort, mistakes, growth, and tiny victories. This isn't about erasing stress overnight or flipping a switch to calm. It's about letting go bit by bit, the quiet shift from score to self. When you stop scrolling through stats and start noticing your own footsteps, it's like stepping off a treadmill that never stops. The pressure loosens, even if just a little. It makes space for rest that feels alive, not empty. So tonight, when the phone lights your face again, you might try this. Don't reach for the numbers. Reach for yourself. The real you, waiting in the spaces between grades. The you who's more than any score. The story that's still unfolding. You wake up and reach for your phone. Again, without thinking. But this time, maybe you don't fall into the endless scroll. Instead, you take a breath. You let your mind rest in a small way. Active rest. Not the kind that tugs you deeper into stress. It turns out, letting go isn't about shutting everything out. It's about choosing moments that remind you who you are, beyond grades and deadlines. So when you reach for your phone again, You might pause and choose rest that heals, not stress that stays. Just for a moment. Maybe tonight, try closing your eyes and letting your mind wander somewhere quiet.